أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. My dear viewers, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. May the peace and blessings of Allah be upon you all. Welcome back to our series on our God, our Allah here in MTA International Gambia Studio, MTA Kids Time. So we brought to you another series where we are talking about our God, our Allah. And then in this episode, we would like to continue on the question that we normally answer in this episode. So therefore, please stay with us so that you can get the question and their answers, inshallah, in this episode. So as always, our tradition demand, we start the program with the recitation from the Holy Quran. So can we hear the recitation from Brother Ibrahim Drame? Please give us the recitation.
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إنا أعطيناك الكوثر فصل لربك وانهر إن سانعك هو الأبتر. Translation. In the name of Allah, the gracious, the merciful. Surely He have given the abundance of God. So pray to the Lord and offer sacrifice. Surely it is the enemies who is without issue.
Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you very much. As I said, the Holy Quran is full of the existence of Allah Almighty. In every single chapter that you read, you see Allah Almighty has already proved that He exists. You can see Allah Almighty is telling the Holy Prophet Muhammad Mustafa sallallahu alaihi wasallam this, that at the time when the Quraysh people, that is the enemies, were accusing him of being a person without male issue, meaning whoever, any child that he have, the child will die at a young age. We all know that, right? We learned the history of the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that all his male children passed away at a very young age, right? This is the history we hear. So the Meccan, the enemies, who are always looking an opportunity to go against the Holy Prophet to humiliate him or to disgrace him, understand? They took this opportunity and they start saying that, look at him, he's an accused person, he is somebody who tried to claim something that is not true. That is why he is facing all these consequences. That's why any child he gets, the child will die, the male child will die. So tomorrow, if he die, he will not have anybody who is going to inherit him. We know most of the time the male children are the one that inherits the fathers in the compound, to take care of the compound. So they say, oh, look at this man, for him he don't have anybody to inherit. So Allah the Almighty assure him that it is the enemies who are without male issue, meaning their children will not benefit them. And that's why the Holy Quran says, Inna alladhina kafaru lan tughniya anhum amwaluhum wala awladu minallahi shay'a wa ulaika hum waqudun nar. It says those who disbelieve, understand? What will happen to them? Their children and their wealth will not benefit them. Abu Jahl and others, when they die, their children eventually join Islam. Does their children benefit them? They all become the followers of the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So of course, then Allah Almighty proved to be right on what He said. So that is also showing that Allah Almighty exists and He supports His righteous servant. So we go straight to the question of the day that we are going to discuss. Can we call on Nuruddin to read the question out? Please read your question, then we try to see more on it. Please give him the mic.
Assalamu alaikum
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
The question is, if we cannot understand the nature of God, how can we believe in Him with full conviction?
Jazakumullah, thank you very much. The previous question was, if we cannot see God, then how can we believe in His existence, right? At that level, we are only talking about existence, right? Just to believe that, oh, God exists. But then that doesn't necessarily mean that you believe in Him with full certainty. As I said, the agnostics people, those people, they believe that, oh, there is a being, there is a creator, but then they are not having full satisfaction that Allah Almighty exists, or they don't have this concept that, the heaven or the universe is being created by Allah Almighty. All they know, there is a supernatural being that is they believe that Allah Almighty exists, but then not with full certainty. So you can see many people face these challenges as well. At a very young age, they start questioning this. We cannot see God. We cannot understand how God look like. We say in the Holy Quran, nothing look like God, right? And in Surah Ikhlas, nothing look like unto him. That's what they believe. So if you cannot see God, you don't understand how his nature is, how his shape is. We say that he have no shape, like we think, like we perceive. So what are some of the evidence that you will need to understand him, and then also to believe in him with full certainty and conviction without any doubt? It says the answer that was given by Busra in the dialogue as we are reading. It says there are many things which we do not understand, yet we believe in them, right? There are many things. Is it only the only thing that you understand, that's the only thing you will believe in? No, at all. There are many things that we believe they exist or they happen, but are we seeing them or do we understand them? So he said, for example, the majority of us do not understand the nature of radiation, right? Radiation in physics. Many of us don't understand this, but we believe radiation happen, right? Which carry radio and TV signals. Understand? That's why you are able to sit here and watch, understand, a TV in Ghana or a TV in UK or anywhere in the part of the world through those channels and signals, right? So what is carrying that information, those videos, and bringing them here until we are able to see them in the TV? Is radiation, right? So, but we believe they exist. But are we seeing those radiation? We don't see them, but we believe in them, right? Yet we believe in the existence of this. I say again, most of us do not understand the complexities of modern day technology, such as computers, yet we all believe that they exist and work for us. All of us here, most of us here, we don't understand computers, right? Do you understand computers much? But you believe computer exists, right? And you believe computer do works for you, not so? So if you see we are sitting here doing this program, and then people are able to see what we are doing, it is through technology. But most of us don't know how things work, but yet we believe it happened because we are seeing the work it is doing for us. The important thing to remember is that there should not be any contradiction in our beliefs. That is very important. There should not be any contradiction in our belief. He said we are surrounded by mysteries, things that you know they are mysterious, and then revealed through the study of nature, which we have to believe though we do not understand them. There are a lot of things, you understand? On the other hand, we can never believe in contradiction. The most important thing, our belief should not be in contradictory to the laws of Allah Almighty and the law of nature. Right? She paused for a while and then said, we should remember that the image of God in his attributes as propounded by the Holy Quran has no contradiction, nor is there any contradiction in his creation, that is the entire universe. There's no contradiction. That the image that is portrayed in the Holy Quran about Allah Almighty and his creation, there is no contradiction in it. So he said, if we therefore fail to understand the nature of God, it does not logically imply that we must reject his existence, because we have already proved there are many, many things that we are unable to understand at this stage, but then yet we believe they exist. So just because you are unable to understand how Allah Almighty look like, so that should not make you to reject the existence of Allah Almighty, because we have seen what Allah Almighty is doing and what he is capable of doing and what he is doing to his righteous servant, to his prophet, and the way he created the universe and everything that we are seeing in every single day. So we should continue believing in Allah Almighty, because he truly exists and he is the most powerful being that created the entire universe. So we move to the next question. Can we invite Khakan that please give us the next question that we want to answer in this episode as well. Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
My question is, What is the purpose of man's life?
What is the purpose of man's life? Many people ask sometimes, some people say that when you die, right? Some people believe that nobody is going to ask you tomorrow. This is just imagination making people to be afraid. Some people, that's what they believe in. But this is not as Muslims, as believers in the existence of Allah. In the existence of Allah, we never believe such. They think that when you die, everything is done for you. Nobody is going to ask you, you're gone forever. Just like the animals, the cattle, the sheep, you understand, goats and everything. When we slaughter them, we eat them, are they going to be asked in the day of judgment? No, they are not going to be asked. But then for us, because they are ghayru aqil, you understand, without sense. But for us, we are having sense, the five common sense, we are having them. So we are going to be questioned on every single thing that we do. That's what Allah the Almighty says, وَلَا تَقَفُ مَا لَيْسَ لَكَ بِهِ عِلْمٌ إِنَّ السَّمْعَ وَالْبَصَرَ وَالْفُؤَادَ كُلُّ أُولَٰئِكَ كَانَ عَنْهُ مَسْئُولًا. He said, don't say something that you don't have knowledge of, because tomorrow in the day of judgment, your eyes, your ears, and your, you understand, intention, everything is going to be, your hearts are going to be questioned on what they have been doing on this very earth, which is the mazra of akhir, meaning the farmland of, of the hereafter. So therefore, let us not think like those people who think that when you die, it's finished. No. There must be a day of judgment, and Allah Almighty is going to be asking us all what we have been doing. There's going to be an accountability. But then the Holy Quran has made it categorically clear. So God tells us in the Holy Quran that the true purpose of man's life is to worship Him alone. You should not worship any other deity, no other God. But Allah the Almighty says, وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْجِنَّ وَالْإِنسَ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونِ. I haven't created the jinns and the men, but save for my worship alone. This is what Allah Almighty created us for, so that we worship Allah Almighty. We worship Him, we believe in Him, and do tawakkal to upon Him. That is, we put all our affairs in Allah Almighty, and we should know He is the one who created us. We should know He is the one who is capable of doing everything. We are just a humble servant. We are just, you understand, a tiny particles of His out of His creation. So let us understand it like that. Allah Almighty created us for the purpose of His worship. I think that is very clear. He said, it is obvious that man is not in a position to appoint the purpose of his own life, right? The one who created will know the purpose of why he created. The one who created the TV, or the one who produced TV, know why he created the TV. He created the TV for what? For us to be conveying our information through it, so that people can, you understand, reach to each other through TV. You understand? He did not create the TV for traveling purpose. If you want to travel today, are you going to the TV? You go to a car and take car, because the TV is not created for the purpose of traveling. You understand? It is created for the purpose of communication. So therefore, Allah Almighty created us. So He has the full right to appoint the purpose of our creation. It is not up to us to say, okay, Allah, you created us for the purpose of worship, but we don't want that purpose. What we want is for the purpose of enjoyment or other things. No. Can the TV tell us today that, oh, you created me for the purpose of communication, but I want to be used as a means of transport? The TV has not that right, because the TV does not create it us, right? It owns. So it's the same thing. Allah Almighty is the only one who can determine why He created us, because He created us. Without Him, we will not come into existence. Do we ask Allah Almighty to bring us into existence? It's Allah's own wish, Allah's own desire. He created without anybody's request. You understand? So our ultimate purpose is to worship Allah Almighty, because this is the objective that Allah Almighty has created us for. So we have no right to design or to come up with any other purpose that Allah the Almighty did not create us for. You understand? So thank you very much. This is all what time allowed us. We come to the end of another episode. And inshallah, in our next episode, we will be also answering another question. Does God punish us if we do not act upon his commandments and commit a sin or a crime? The other one, if someone commits an offense against us, what should be our response? Should we punish the person or should we forgive him? These are questions that inshallah we will try to answer in our next episode. Viewers, this is what time allowed us. We come to the end of another episode. We are talking about the existence of Allah Almighty. In this episode, we dealt with two questions. That is, what is man's purpose of life? That is, what is the purpose of man's life? And the other one, if we cannot understand the nature of God, how can we believe in him with full conviction, which we have already discussed during the during this episode. So thank you very much. Until we come on your way here in MTA International Gambia Studio, I was your host, Said Sambasong. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.